Hey everyone, making another video, and this is going to be a video on deck boxes. So, I actually don't have all the deck boxes that I have used in the past, because along with selling or trading away decks, I have obviously sold or traded away the deck box as well. So, there has been quite a few deck boxes I have used in the past. I've used Ultra Pro, I've used other deck boxes as well. When I'm saying Ultra Pro, I've used both the artwork ones they were pretty well made, the side flipping ones that they made a while ago, and then also the obvious old school ones that flip up at the top. So the ones that flip up at the top, kind of like this, I've used those in the past. Problem with those ones is that they often are made of cheap plastic, not like the other one that I mentioned that is pretty thick and very well made. The other one, which is also nice, has a little card divider, so that's nice if you have sides and whatnot. It's meant for 60 card decks, both of them, not for like Commander. Anyways, so this is going to be my first deck that I'm going to be showing you guys. I actually don't know what it is called. As you can tell, it's a good deck box. For whatever reason, it has this design. I'm not sure if that's the company design. I want to say it is. Something Shield is probably what it's called. But in here is obviously my Reanimator deck, what's left of my Legacy deck. It obviously has also a card divider, which is great for holding my sides, tokens, anything like that. Yeah, it's a very generic, very thick plastic, but it is plastic, and it has a very cool design on it, with the shield, and also the texture is very unique. So I know this one was popular when I got it. That was quite a few years ago. It's probably non-existent now. But if you get a deck, if you're looking for a cheap deck box for a 60 card deck, any plastic box like this will do. They're pretty cheap. I think this one I bought for like $5 or something. It's a very cheap box, and it works. And as you can see, even using the test that professor uses from Tulare Community College, it works. Now this is one that the professor really recommended, and I've used this for quite a few years, and I love it. It is the Ultra Pro Tower. I don't believe this is the satin. I could be wrong. So I'm going to put the camera down, sorry guys, just to show that this does break off into 3 different places, so I'll show you how it all goes back together. But this is for the dice, which is really awesome. Obviously, if you're playing Commander, you're going to want some die, depending on what you're playing. If you're playing the token spam or high life total, things like that, you're going to want. That's a necessity. It's a given. So this is great that it has that, and it just attaches on just like that. So this is obviously the top. So this can hold over 100 cards, double sleeved. I used to put my Sliver deck in there, and I probably should put it back because my deck box that I'm using right now doesn't really work too well with the slivers. So depending on the situation, I might be changing sleeves and having both of my sliver and my Captain Sisse deck in there, because I'm using cards for both decks. I might put the slivers back into the Ultra Pro, because the Ultra Pro just has so much room. It is definitely pretty cheap. I think it's like $10, and it's definitely a great way to go. It's plastic, but it's very thick plastic. It has lasted me for years. You could drop it, you could throw it. I don't recommend throwing it, but you can, and your deck should be fine, and it won't pop open. It's actually very hard to get it out. So not so hard that you'll have trouble, but it definitely takes a little bit of oomph. The last one is the card box that I just bought that I'm loving right now, the Ultimate Guard. This is the sand version. The great thing with both the Ultimate Guard and the Ultra Pro Satin, there are so many different colors you can get, and they're also give you the capability of making your deck seem very unique, and you can also specify your decks based off the colors. But anyways, this is the twin flip and tray 200 version. So 200 cards or more. So this is perfect for EDH decks and whatnot, unless you have a whole bunch of tokens and things like that, like my slivers do. But anyways, this is what the box has. You can pause the video if you want to read any of this. Basically, it's just showing you all the capabilities it has. You can even open it up sideways, upside down. Don't recommend that. Anywhere you can always be prepared to play 2 decks. Now, I would recommend, obviously, single sleeving is what I've found is better, and that's what I did with my that's what I did primarily with my Captain Sissy deck, and it fits perfectly in there with no problems. The double sleeve deck, my slivers is kind of tightly fit, and you will see what I mean by that, but it's still pretty cool. It has 3 trays, 1 for dice, 2 for a deck of cards. It has exoskin, which is awesome. Really like it. Microfiber in the middle. Magnets, as you can see, there's magnets there, and magnets there, and there's the microfiber cloth, and yeah, it's great. So I'll just open it for you guys, show you guys what it's like. There's the 2 decks. This is the little tray, and the tray has obviously the die. So I'll put this on the side. That's if you're going to be opening it for the die, you want it to be sideways like that. But with the exception of that, you could, if you don't need the die, you could just open it sideways like this, which is typically what I do because it's easier, pretty easy to put in and take out. It's really easy. Don't make the mistake of flipping it around to where the Ultimate Guard is, then it's going to be really hard. So the cards are all pretty easy to get in there, and there, as you see, there is the cloth in there. So it's very well made, very interesting design, and I definitely recommend getting this. This is by far my favorite. I like it much more than the Ultra Pro, on the exception of the Ultra Pro Tower having more room. As you can see with this one, it's almost like the deck is being squished in. If I took out the tokens, it probably would be okay, but this is what it is, and yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're really into double sleeving. You may just want to double sleeve or put in your commander decks that have just the deck, no tokens or anything, which I know is a lot of decks. Or you could have just a few tokens. I'm sure if I double sleeved my Captain Sissy deck, because of, look at all that room in there. There's still a lot of room. I still have actually a token. So if you double sleeved and you put in like maybe a few tokens, like 2 or 3, you would probably be fine. So anyways, just to show you guys, those are the 3 deck boxes I'm currently using. And I definitely have to say that out of all 3, Ultimate Guard is my personal favorite for right now. Ultra Pro is amazing. I've used it for years. Ultimate Guard's brand new, so I don't know how it'll hold up, but I've heard it holds up pretty well. And then generic everyday 60 card plastic box. that actually can fit more than 60. It can hold the 60 card deck and its size, so, and some extra stuff, so it can hold quite a bit of room. This is all double sleeved, by the way. Most decks will allow you to double sleeve a whole deck and have its sides, so those are all the deck boxes I have, and I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully all my last playmat will come in, and then I'll be able to make the playmat video, because I know there was a guy who was saying that he was really appreciative of the Pagodia opening that I made, and I really want to get that next video out as soon as possible, but that's only when the product arrives, so hopefully it arrives today or tomorrow, so then I can make a video in the morning for you guys. Anyways, hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.